Hi, I'm Ms. Lee. Today we're talking about a sum and difference of cubes. This is a special type of factoring when you have a binomial and both terms are perfect cubes. So we're going to talk about both a sum and a difference. So we're going to be doing both a cubed plus b cubed being a sum of cubes, and then also a cubed minus b cubed, which is the difference of cubes. So we have a special formula for each of these for factoring these. And so the factorization of a cubed plus b cubed is going to be a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. And then over here, with the minus, it's going to be, for a cubed minus b cubed, that's going to be a minus b times a squared plus ab, and then plus b squared. Okay, and so what I like to do in my head when I'm doing a sum and difference of cubes is just kind of like remember the signs, because that's what gets mixed up the most often. And so just if you want to remember like what the signs are, the little saying or mnemonic I have for it is same, different, plus. Okay, and so the idea is that if we're doing plus, that would mean that the same would be this same, and if we're doing minus, the first sign would be the same, which is this minus. Okay, and then of course plus is always just plus. So that last one is always plus, and the middle one is always different. So if that first one is going to be a minus sign, then the second one is going to be a plus sign. So if the first one is minus, the second one is a plus. And then for the plus one, if the first one is plus, then the second one is minus. And so it's going to be different. So the orange and the yellow ones are going to be different from each other. And so that's kind of a way for you to like remember these formulas, so that, you know, they get embedded in your brain forever. All right, so I'm going to do a quick example using one of these formulas so you can see how to use it. Okay, so the first example we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and factor f of x equals 16x to the fourth minus 54x. So what is the first step you're going to do no matter what every time you're factoring? What is the first step? Well, that's factoring out the greatest common factor. Good, so we're going to go ahead and factor out the greatest common factor. So I notice that there is an x in both of these terms. I also notice that both of these terms are even, which means that they're both divisible by 2. So the coefficients to each of these terms are in fact divisible by 2, and so I'm going to factor out a 2x. Okay, so I factor out a 2x, so 2x times what is 16x to the fourth? Well, that's going to be 8x cubed minus 2x times what is 54x? Well, that's just going to be 27. And so I check 8 and 27. Do they have any common factors? No, they don't. And so we'll just go ahead and proceed with our formula then. And so what you want to do when you're trying to apply the sum and difference formulas is you want to identify your A and your B. Okay, so identify A and B. Regardless of what happens, this 2x is going to remain on the outside. So maybe you can write a 2x near where you're going to write your answer so that you don't forget about it. So we're going to write a 2x down here. But let's identify our A and our B. So for A, what you're going to do is take your first term and you're going to find the cube root of it. Okay, so like what cubed will get you 8? And that'll be 2. So then A equals 2. And then what cubed equals x cubed? Well, that would be x. And so A is going to be 2x. And then, of course, we want to figure out what B is. And so since 27 is going to be the B cubed, you want to say what cubed is 27? And that's going to be 3. So A equals 2x and B equals 3. And again, since this is a difference, we're going to be using this formula right here. Okay, so remember what we're using is the A minus B. So I'm just rewriting the formula here, times A squared plus AB plus B squared. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to write 2x where all the A's are. And I want to go ahead and write 3 where all the B's are. Okay, so 3, I want to substitute in 3 for each of the B's. Okay, so A minus B, that's going to be 2x minus 3, and then times A squared. So whenever there is two parts to your A or your B, I want you to put it in parentheses. So this isn't 2x squared like this, okay, because that would mean that it's 2 and then times x squared. But really, it is 2x in parentheses all squared. So 2x in parentheses squared. And then plus AB, so that's 2x times 3, and then plus, and then that B, which is 3 squared. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and highlight the 2x's where we substituted in the 2x, and then I substituted in the 3 in each of these spots right here. Okay, and then now I'm just going to go ahead and simplify. So I have 2x times 2x minus 3. And as we said earlier, it's all of 2x squared. And so if you wanted to simplify that, you could do 2 squared, which is 4, and then leave the x squared, so 4x squared plus, and then 2x times 3 is 6x, and then plus 9. Okay, and that's that. And that's how you factor using the sum and difference of cubes formulas. Happy day!